First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham, Rochar Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to all you Akim following on along in sincerity and truth. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus 1. Well, I wanted to do 2, chapter 2, verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation, set thy heart aright, and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble. Cleave unto him, and depart not away, that thou mayst increase at thy last end. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient, when thou art changed to a lower state. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Believe in him, and he will help thee. Order thy way aright, and trust in him. Ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy, and go not aside lest ye fall. Ye that fear the Lord, believe him, and your reward shall not fail. Ye that fear the Lord, hope for good, and hope for everlasting joy and mercy. Look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? So it's really interesting, this word fear. You know, we kind of see it as a menacing thing, but here's this, that we abide in his fear. That is like to take refuge in the fear of the Lord. This is to take refuge in wisdom. You know, and I don't think it's this traditional kind of boo, scary, I got you fear. This is more of a fear of coming under subservience and putting yourself at the feet of the Lord, such that he is your commander in chief, recognizing him first and putting him in charge. And that is their definition of, or that's, I think the translation for fear is a little bit incorrect. I think it's more to do with put yourself in service of. For the Lord is full of compassion, verse 11, for the Lord is full of compassion and mercy, long suffering and very pitiful, and forgiveth sins, and saveth in time of affliction. Woe be to fearful hearts, and faint hands, and a sinner that goeth two ways. A sinner that goes two ways, that is a person who's kind of on the fence. He's kind of doing good, and he's doing bad, and he's doing good, and he's doing bad, because the people that do bad just do bad. They can get to the end of that bad road, and they can decide, you know what, it's not for me, this is just getting madness. But if you're kind of always hovering in the middle, you never really get into one extreme or the other. You know, there's that scripture that says, because you're not hot nor cold, I'll spew thee out with my mouth, you know. So it's like, you know, like being bad and fully bad is better than being good, then being bad, then being good, then being bad, because at least you're committed, and at that point when you reach the end of the road, you can turn around and decide and use that same strength of conviction and commitment to be good. Woe be to faithful hearts and faint hands, and sinner that goes two ways. Woe unto him that is faint hearted, for he believeth not, therefore shall not be defended. You know, that's the people like who will talk the talk, but don't walk the walk. You know, the faint hearted, as soon as adversity comes their way, they fold. You know what I mean? They'll be like, yeah, I'll take the chip, I'll do whatever. You know? Woe unto him that is faint hearted, for he believeth not and shall not be defended. Yeah, so when the Lord comes, like, you know, when people are asking you what your belief is, who, you know, whether this is right, and you're just, because there's lots of people around, faint heart basically means you're a punk. You basically don't stand for what you believe. So other people come along and they say to you, oh yeah, well, you know, I believe in this, yeah, you should believe in that, and you go along with it because you're too scared. You know what I mean? So why should the Lord defend you? For he believeth not, therefore he shall not be defended. The Lord ain't gonna he's gonna have your back. You know, when it was time for you to prophesy, time for you to testify, time for you to give your testimony on how you got there, time for you to stand up and say, this is wrong, I don't believe in this. No, you didn't. You just went along with the status quo because that's what everybody else was saying in this wicked system. You know? Verse 14. Woe unto you that have lost patience. Yeah, so the Lord's not going to defend you. If you're a punk, I ain't going to defend no punk. I ain't going to defend anyone who's not going to have my back. Why would I do that? They might turn around and stab you in the back just because they're too weak. Chapter verse 14. Woe unto you that have lost patience, and what will you do when the Lord shall visit you? Yeah, so what are you going to say? Oh yeah, I was kind of waiting, and you didn't turn up by Saturday, so I thought, yeah, I'll go back into the. Well, no, it's not going to work like that, man. 15. But they that fear the Lord will not disobey his word, and they that love him will keep his ways. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I was hearing some. I don't know if anybody can post, but like there was someone talking about discipline, how discipline, love creates discipline. Like that discipline, that feeling that you're gonna do it no matter what. You don't feel like it. Like when you got a child, that's the best way that I can think of it. When you got a child, you have to make breakfast every day. That's a discipline. Like you don't. Your discipline for me is with that feeling where you don't want to do it, but you do it anyway because it's what you should do. And here we're talking about the love of the Lord. Keeps you straight. It keeps you disciplined. You know. If you fear the Lord, you don't disobey his word. If you respect his authority, that's what I was looking for fear. The respect of the authority. It's not like fear is and he's the boogeyman, but if you respect his authority, you respect him as who he is and how powerful he is, you're not going to disobey his word. And then love him will keep his ways with that discipline. 16. They that fear the Lord will seek that which is well pleasing unto him, and they that love him shall be filled with the law. They that fear the Lord will prepare their hearts and humble their souls in his sight, saying, we will fall into the hands of the Lord and not into the hands of men, for as his majesty is, so is his mercy. I remember when King David, he had made a transgression. I think he'd done something with the ark that he wasn't supposed to do, and the prophet came to him and said, you should choose. I will either bring war into this land or pestilence. War into this land by the hand of the Lord. No. War into this land by the hand of man, or pestilence into this land by the hand of the Lord. And King David chose wisely. He said, I'll take the punishment from the Lord, because the Lord is always just. He will give you what you deserve, but not an element more. Whereas when justice is given into the hands of men, they can go wild. Yeah. 17. They that fear the Lord will prepare their hearts and humble their souls in his sight, saying, we will fall into the hands of the Lord and not into the hands of men, for as his majesty is, so is his mercy. Yeah, so that is again what the King David, like his mercy and his majesty. His majesty is his might, his power, but as big as he's powerful, so is he is merciful. Yeah, so it's also written that we're not really, the Lord doesn't come to save us, but due to any of our own righteousness. He's doing that because people offended his name and his word. He said, these are my people. He said, these are my people, and people have enslaved them, stolen from them, robbed them, driven them to all sorts of depravity. He's coming back to avenge his name. Ain't coming back to avenge Israel. We just happen to be on the right side. With that, I'm going to shut off. All praises, honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. Our righteousness is as filthy rags. Always remember that. Shalom.